Hey again, guys. So, I wanted to talk about something that I dramatically enough want to label progress versus change. And what I mean about that is that there is, in my opinion, a trend is in the JavaScript community where anything that is new is perceived to have and has some type of value is more or less almost on the radar immediately for a lot of people. I'm not saying that it gets adopted into the mainstream of everything of our community, but I feel that we are in there's a trend that to me really only exists in JavaScript, where although we get a lot of throughput and like a lot of packages and a lot of innovation, which I think is great. I mean, that's why I focus mainly on JavaScript, because there's such a interesting environment to work in and there's so many things going on. It gets it gets a little bit tiresome sometimes because there's so much to keep track of. But if you can do that and you're interested, it's great, because if you like it. But there is something that I think is happening, which I kind of think I think it's a bad thing. I feel as that, like, the trends around React and Angular and these frameworks and all that stuff, it's getting us away from what I think is the best thing, the true problems of the web. Because let's just see if you can follow my thought. React and Angular and these frameworks, they have been created in order to solve the fact that the browser APIs and just writing things in vanilla JavaScript is really difficult to do. That's why you have these frameworks. They're here to make things easier for us. And my opinion is that instead of trying to pull everything into like a framework or a brand of some sort, let's try and make it a standard. Because in my opinion, change is great, but progress is even better. And I think that the best way to achieve true progress for us all and like for everybody is to take the ideas from the change that is happening and incorporate it, like make that the standard, or make that the thing that we can all kind of move towards. Now we're trying to, like, I think that even though it's a horrible implementation, web components are a good idea, like, custom HTML elements. I think that's a good idea. And if we're talking about, using vanilla JavaScript, I'm actually of the opinion today that I think that more and more people are simply using React and Angular and so forth without thinking it through. Like, they use it as a default, and I don't think that's right. I think that there are absolutely applications that are useful, like where you should use all JavaScript and SPA. But to me, it feels almost now like we're like, I don't know, it's almost like what jQuery did. It's like we're forgetting the roots. We're forgetting that, if you use jQuery today, I think that you should take a look at the native browser support, unless you have like really old browsers you need to support, because the modern browsers, like the APIs they're pretty good. Like, I don't today, like, if you're working with a modern browser browser support, I don't see any reason why you need jQuery. In essence, I don't see it. And if you have a mostly static HTML page with maybe a few animations and some client-side validation and stuff like that, there is no reason for you to use React. None at all. And this is coming from somebody who has been doing React for a long time now. And like, I love React for my use cases. It's great. But what I think is the fundamental problem that we still need to solve, because the original, from my perspective, problem with JavaScript was that it was all in the global namespace, and you got spaghetti code really quickly. That's actually one of my first tech talks, where I say that I think that the thing that React really did well is to give us all a blueprint for how to structure applications at scale. Like you can, it scales very well. React scales extremely well. This mindset of components, but think about it. That's not React. Specifically, it's not that framework, it's the idea of components and composition, and you can achieve that without React. I have a few, like I've done a few things where I illustrate this idea that, I can take HTML, create a component element or a component directory from an HTML partial and include that in my rendering on the server, and then bundle that with JavaScript, because like bundlers like Webpack and like that type of stuff, they have progressed so far now that spaghetti code, like in vanilla JavaScript, honestly, if you are getting spaghetti code in vanilla JavaScript today, then I don't think it's fair to blame the browsers for that. Then it's probably you, because like the bundlers and Webpack and Browserify and all, like they have taken care of the global namespacing problem and that type of stuff. So that to me that's a done deal. We already have that solution. It's getting even better. And one of the things I love about Douglas Crawford is the initiative he has about trying to get a progress on the number format, because numbers are still a problem in JavaScript. They're absolutely a problem. And I think that we're going to solve that one hopefully pretty soon. But I think that maybe we all as a community need to take a really good look at ourselves and our values and ask, have we collectively been caught in a SPA or like framework hype? Because nobody, I even talk to developers who won't even consider working with the vanilla JavaScript. And to me, that's just crazy. Why? Like, if you are just using a tool without even thinking about the value, or the positive and the pros and the cons, then it's, to me, that's actually a bad thing. So I can't even believe I'm saying this. I would really like to try at least to build something at scale, a big application with just vanilla JavaScript and Browserify maybe, and like a few testing tools and so forth, and just see if I could do it. Because I'm pretty certain that the value that React provides it's very high for certain things, but for like your standard boilerplate applications, I don't think it is. Maybe I'm missing something, but I think that, I think I said it earlier. I think that we're collectively stuck in a framework hype. And I think that we should have a really long think about the real problems of JavaScript. And to me, the only real problem that's still there, apart from the stuff that's always going to be an issue, like load times and all that stuff, the only thing that I think we really need to fix right now is the CSS namespace collisions, and we're doing that with scoped styles and a little bit of that stuff. Like, we need to be able to create these like small Lego blocks and be certain that if we plug that into a web page that we don't own ourselves, it's gonna look and behave the correct way. That to me is a more important problem than what it seems to me that a lot of people are considering to be the problems in JavaScript.